Well, I always liked boxing. I used to watch the fights on TV. I used to watch, the show Granada Theater. They used to show Sugar Ray Robinson, Carmen Brazilio. I used to watch, Gil Ortega, Emil Griffin. Uh, I used to watch these fights on TV, and I always liked fighters. And I used to watch these guys fight, and I used to say to myself, I can beat this guy. I used to get in a lot of fights in school, you know, and I got in trouble when I was 11 years old for fighting, and they sent me to a boys' home for a year. When I came home, I always said to myself, I said, I want to learn how to fight, and I want to learn how to fight the right way. Got married at 16 years old. My wife didn't want me to be a fighter. And I ended up getting in trouble, going to jail at 18. And when I was in jail, I made up my mind that I wanted to be a fighter. So when I came out of jail, I I talked to Joe Bill. I used to go to school with Joe Bill. Joe Bill was fighting as a heavyweight here in Los Angeles. And I told him, Joe, I said, Joe, I want to fight. And he says, well, go where the action's at. So he introduced me to 78th and Hoover in Los Angeles. And so I went to 78th and Hoover and I started working out. There was a lot of different people that approached me and asked me if I wanted to fight, if I wanted to go to Hawaii. They all made me a lot of offers, but I knew Jackie McCoy was a manager, trainer, and also Jackie McCoy was a longshoreman. And Jackie had some local fighters like Raul Rojas and Mondo Ramos, and I wanted to be in the Jackie McCoy stables. So I trained at the gym and everything for a few months, and then I asked him, I told him I'd like to get into his stables, and the first one I ever boxed with in his stables was Raul Rojas. And I'll never forget that, I thought I was kind of sharp. I threw a left jab, and he stepped in with his right hand and pushed me aside and took me off balance, and he showed me his left hand. He could have nailed me with a left hook. Uh, that was really something. I'll never forget that. Became an exceptional fighter myself. I fought for 3 years in the gym, and then Jack McCoy wanted me to get some boxing experience in the ring before I turned professional. So they signed me up for Golden Glove Novice. The boxing commission saw me in the gym training with some of the best in the world. They said, this guy can't fight novice. So um, my first fight was in the open division for the Golden Glove Championship with a guy named Pete Vital, who was the Golden Glove champion from the year before. That in itself is saying something. They must have saw something in me to make me fight my first fight for the Golden Glove Championship. And this guy, Pete Vital, I fought him twice. And then I fought this other guy for the AU Championship, and I lost a decision on that one. And then I represented Los Angeles with the Olympic champion from Mexico, and we fought to a draw. Uh, we got the Fight of the Night award. People threw money into the ring, and I fought two other regular guys, amateurs, and I beat them. One in Long Beach I knocked out in one round. Why I knocked them, they stopped at the end of one round. Um, and I was supposed to turn professional. It was supposed to be sometime in December of 1969. I ended up getting in trouble for fighting with my hands on the street. This happened in October of 1969, and I went to prison. Went to prison for 3.5 years straight. And when I came out of jail, I was going to be 26. I was already 26 and a half, and I said I was too old so I didn't pursue my boxing career. I always wanted to be a fighter, but I wanted to be a winner. I just didn't want to be a fighter to be a fighter, because anybody can do that. The ones that stand out in my mind is when he fought Vicente Saldivar, the Coliseum. That was 15 rounds. That was a hell of a fight, man. That was a very good fight. They stopped it with 10 seconds to go in the 15th round. Um, uh, another fight that I really think was a great fight for Raul is that Sukan Eel or something. He's the guy that beat Mondo Ramos. He beat Mondo, and Mondo was a lightweight, one of the best lightweights in the world. And this Sukan Eel beat Mondo, and they scheduled a fight for Raul to fight this guy, to fight the guy that beat Mondo, and Raul beat him. And that's really saying something. Here comes the little brother. I mean, Raul was older, but Raul was the little guy. Here's the little brother take care of the one to beat the big guy. When he fought uh, Sosaijo. And Sosaijo, Raul was a very good fighter, but Sosaijo was a fast guy. Uh, that was a really good fight that Raul put up. But Sosaijo was a I think they called him the Blazer, and he lived up to that name. That guy was a very fast, sharp fighter. But
Did he beat Raul?
yeah, twice. But Raw wasn't, like Jack said, he wasn't trained properly. That was after the second Suicide fight when Jackie McCoy told him he should retire. But you can't take nothing away from Suicide. I mean, Raw might have been not training at his best, but I tell you, Suicide was very fast and he was sharp. He was a hell of a fighter too, though. He used to box for Jake Shrew. And after a while, his career, he ended up going with Jackie McCoy. He fought for the title. He won the featherweight championship, um, and then he ended up losing to, I think, a guy named Dwight Hawkins knocked him out at Sports Arena. I mean, at the Forum. And then he couldn't get over some of the tougher fighters. He fought Mondo twice. He beat Mondo once, and fast, but like I say, he couldn't punch, and that was his downfall. Very cocky guy. I mean, like I say, I mean,
In or out of the ring?
in or out, in or out.
You ever socialize with him?
No, we're like enemies. We didn't like each other. Frankie didn't like too many people. Uh, I mean, the guy comes up and tells you something. I mean, he comes up and say, uh, excuse my language, but the guy comes up and says, "Hey, you fucking wetback, you want to work?" I mean, how are you supposed to react to that? This guy come at you. Uh, One time, uh, we were boxing, and the guy hit me a left hook in the eye, and I'm not kidding you. I saw double. I saw a head here and a head here. You know, not this way. I seen like this, a head and a head. And I backed up, and I'm looking. I got this look. Well, he said something was wrong. Crawford said something was wrong with me. You know what I mean? Because I was seeing double. And that guy came at me, man, and he threw every punch in the book. That guy threw every punch in the book he could because he thought I was hurt. He was trying to put me out. We're sparring. This guy tried to put me out. He knows something's wrong. I'm seeing double. And he threw his little punches for a short time, and then the bell rang. And I told him, "Punk, you couldn't bust an egg."